Forward.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so now kind of where we left off from yesterday, I asked you to go home and try 4, 5, and 6. So what I want to know, Curtis, were you able to tell me number 4?
I got 12 and 1/6.
12 and what?
1/6.
12 and 1/6. Now, we want to put 12 and 1/6 miles if that is correct. Anybody else get 12 and 1/6? Everybody's happy with that? Max? Right now, look, again, part of some of your problem is, I don't want you writing down something. I don't want you writing down the answers. All right. If you don't know how to do that, we're just totaling them up, right? Which just means you added them up. So that's a good thing on your calculator. You learn how to hit the plus button and type in the fractions. Everybody good with that? Okay. Now the hard one. What is the average distance? What did you do?
So first what I did was I started to use what we got from the previous problem, 12 and 1/6, and then I divided by how many days.
That is exactly correct.
I got 2.
Hold up a minute.
And then I got 2 and 13 over 30 miles.
Is that correct? All right, guys, I'm pretty happy with that. Very nice. 2 and 13 over 30, did you say?
Yes.
2 and 13/30 miles. Is that correct? Okay, hold on. What, you have a question? What? So anytime you want to find the average mean, you add them up and divide by the number of numbers, right? So when we added them up, that was the what? That was the 12 and 1/6. Do you agree with this? And then we just divided by 5 because there were 5 days. You with me? Okay, now here, just a minute. It says you plan to walk on Saturday. How far must you walk on this day so that your 6-day average is 2.5 miles? Tell me.
So, you would,
I want the answer first.
oh, sorry, that's,
Well, you don't have the answer?
well, I had it and then I got confused.
All right, that's okay. That's all right. No, I want someone who tried it to give me an answer. What did you get, buddy?
I think I got, 3 and 17/6, or 17/6.
Well, it wouldn't be 17 over
or
6.
Or 3 and 17/6. Or 18.
Well, look at your note. Look what it says on your paper.
Oh, yeah, 3 and 17/6.
17 over 6. All right. So what do we got, Aiden?
I got 2 at 30.
Just 2 over 30?
Mhm.
But 2 over 30 can reduce,
Oh.
right? Somebody else, Miss Elliott.
I got what he got. I got 2 over 30.
But that can reduce, right? So do 2 over 30 on your calculator and let it reduce it for you. 2 over 30 is 2, ABC 30, and then hit enter.
15.
Yeah, it should reduce to 1 over 15. All right, yes.
I got my answer. I got 2 and 5/6 miles because.
Hold on a second. 2 and 5/6 miles. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else want to tell me? What did you get? 1/3. I'm okay with that. I'm just getting all the answers.
I got 1 over 3 too.
Good. 1/3.
2 and 4/9.
2 and 4/9 is good. Guys, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. It's just, I want to know if you're making an effort.
I was supposed to answer 5/6, but I got confused when it's 6/6. I thought that I had done 5, but I had done 6, so I got 2.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Good.
What was the right one?
Well, we don't know yet. I don't know. All right. We're getting ready to find out what the right one is. Right. So how many miles did you walk right so far in these 5 days? Tell me, Mikey.
12 and 1/6.
Yeah, you did 12 and 1/6. So I need everybody to write this down for me. You walked 12 and 1/6 miles so far. The problem is we're going for a walk on Saturday, correct? So do we know how much we're going to walk on Saturday? No, I have no idea. Right, but that represents Saturday. Does everybody agree? Now, how many days would that be then? How many days are we walking total? We're walking 6 days, correct? So if we're going to walk for 6 days, I'd have to divide that by what? I'd have to divide that by 6. Does everybody agree with that? And then I want that average to be what? What do I want the average to be? 2.5. Right, so that's what we have right there. That's kind of what you're supposed to be. That's what's supposed to be kind of in your mind. All right, we're taking the 12 and 1/6 miles, we're adding Saturdays, and then we're dividing by 6, and I want that to be 2.5. What?
But couldn't it just be like the 2.5 times 6, because that's what you have to get the like in all, and then just like then whatever's like left over that like you haven't already walked that.
You're exactly correct. That's exactly what I was just getting ready to say. All right, I want everybody to understand this, though. This is the process for finding the average. Would you agree with that? Now, Nora said something super important, right? An average is like walking 2.5 miles every day, correct? So if we're going to walk 2.5 miles every day, then for 6 days, I should walk how many miles? Calculate that real quick. If I want to walk 2.5 miles every day for 6 days, how many miles would I walk? Come on, everyone figure that out. I'm asking you a question. You have your handy dandy calculator out. Aiden, what would that be?
What is it, 2 and 1/6?
2.5 miles every day. You're gonna walk, that's what kind of what an average means. Does everybody agree with that? If you walk 2.5 miles every day, does everybody agree you're averaging 2.5 miles, right? So how many miles would I have to walk in 6 days, Aiden?
5/12.
No,
15.
15 miles. Right now, how did I do that? Because I want everybody to take their calculator and say what? 2.5 times what? 6, because we're walking for 2 days. So everybody's taking their calculator out and practicing 2.5 times 6. All right, and that's a total of what? So if I walk 15 miles, and this is what you need to write down, if I walk 15 miles in 6 days, what will my average be? What?
2.5.
Yes, it'd be 2.5 miles. Right, so I have to walk 15 miles. How many miles have I walked so far? So how do I figure out how many miles I have to walk?
15 minutes total.
Beautiful. Exactly what you said. That was very good. Really good, actually. All right, that was a really hard problem. So the correct answer for those of you guys who are wondering was the 2 and 5/6. All right. Now, again, this is a calculator problem. So you just did what? 15 minus 12 and 1/6. Now that was that hard. We should all be able to do that mental math. All right. But that's what your calculator is for. What?
How did we know it was 15?
Because now, again, that's a very good question. So I want you to try to visualize this. All right. And again, I take my time with these problems because I think it's important to help. Right. So if I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, do you agree I'm going to be gone for 6 days?
Yeah.
And if I want to average 2.5, do you agree the easiest way to average 2.5 would be to do what?
Multiply
Walk how many miles a day?
2.5.
Right. So if I do 2.5 miles each day, please pay attention. Don't daydream. If I walk 2.5 miles each day, that will be an average of 2.5.
Oh, and then you get the 15.
Yeah, there you go. See what that is? So a shortcut would just say, hey, just take 2.5 and multiply by 6. And if I walk 15 miles, then, right, I would average 2.5, correct?
Yeah.
Now, does it have to be 2.5 miles each day? No, I could have done what? I could have fell asleep and said, I don't feel like going today. Yeah, I don't feel like going any of these days. I'll still average 2.5 if I walk how many miles for these last 2 days?
2.5.
How many?
7 now.
Yeah. Or you could say a total of 15 miles.
Okay.
Do you agree with that now? Hopefully everybody understands. If I didn't want to walk and all of a sudden I didn't walk for 5 days, could I still average 7.5? I mean, 2.5. Yeah, if I walked how many miles? 15. Do you agree with that? Right now, hopefully you listened. Hopefully you listened and that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, you've got to tell me. I can't help if you don't tell me. Max, was that clear? Yes, come on, speak up. I multiplied 2.5 times 6. So you do that on your calculator and see if that's what happened. 2.5 times 6. Yeah, you see what I'm saying now, right? Now, again, everyone's got to learn to speak up. Everyone's got to learn to speak up. All right, if I'm not clear. These are not easy. All right, anybody else have any questions with that? You good? Tell me.
I put in a calculator 12 and then 18/6 divided by 6 and I got 2 and 1.
Say it again.
I put in 12, 18/6 divided by 6.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because 18 divided by 6 is 3. 3 plus 12 is 15. And it's the same thing.
Oh, you could put that? Or-
No, I don't want you to put that. That doesn't, you know what I'm saying? We don't write fractions that way. You with me? Even though it kind of was what? Kind of the same. You agreed?
Yes.
All right, it's not a big deal. Okay, so here we go. Mackenzie, you're up. You get to read 7 for me. Everybody, we're going around the room. Everybody's going to get a shot to do it. All right, read 1 and do 1. All right, here we go. Mackenzie, go.
How many square feet of floor are needed to cover a rectangle with 3 inches wide and 13 feet 9 inches long?
What's the problem here?
Um,
I have feet and what?
inches.
Yeah, I can't have both units.
Mhm.
You with me?
Yeah.
So you have to tell me how many or what fraction of a foot 3 inches is. What fraction, everybody write down what you think 3 inches is as a foot. You got to convert that to what fractional part of a foot is that? Is what I'm trying to say. No, I want Mackenzie.
Okay, what are you asking?
So 3 inches is how many feet? More than 1 or less than 1?
Less than.
So now what fractional part of a foot is it? How did you know that?
This is multiplied by 4 and 4.
Yeah, that's a smart way. But how many inches in a foot?
12.
12. So you could say, now this is where everybody's listening. You could say it's, bad.
Right?
It's 3 out of 12.
Oh, yeah.
And now reduce 3/12. And of course, that's what?
1/4.
Right. So the dimensions of your room are 10 and 1/4. 10 and 1/4 by what? So now you have something that's 13 feet 9 inches.
And then 3/4.
Yeah, good job, girl. My pencil's acting up. 13 and 3/4. Okay, so now what do I do? If I want to find the area. Do you remember how to find area of a rectangle? Who remembers the formula for area of a rectangle? Jacob.
So you have to multiply all them together by?
Yeah, just length times width. So everybody needs to put this down. Area equals length times width. Area equals length times width. Sorry, I was having pencil problems. So Mackenzie, you're doing that for me. Area equals length times width. And then tell me the answer. Shh, put your hand down. She's gonna tell me.
Um, 140 and 15/16.
140 and 15/16. Does anybody agree with that?
Yeah.
And then units, when you measure area, we do squares. So I need to make sure you remember that. 140 and 15/16 square feet. All right, that's the area of that rectangle. Yes.
I have a question. Why don't we just convert the feet to inches and then multiply that? So there's no fraction.
We could, but I said I want it in feet,
Oh, sorry.
right? That's just because we're working in fractions, right? And generally, when you measure rooms, you measure in square feet, not square inches, because there'd be a whole lot of square inches. Did you get that? A whole lot?
Mhm.
Yeah. What, Wilson?
I'm a little confused on how you would get 15, like a 15th of a foot.
I don't see a 15th of it. You
Like
mean,
15 over 16.
oh, just because doesn't have to work out to be exact, right? So I understand what you're saying. What's a 16th of a foot? Literally, it's a 16th, right? So it's almost how many square feet? Let's do it this way. It's almost how many square feet?
145.
There you go. See what I'm saying? Like sometimes when you measure a room, it doesn't go exactly 3 feet by 4 feet. Sometimes you just get the wall is a little short or a little long. They try not to do that, but every once in a while that happens. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
All right. Now everybody's supposed to be doing this on their calculator. All right. Tell me.
You say you got 10 into 1/4 and 13 into 3/4.
Well, because I want you to take your calculator and do 3/12. So that's 3 inches out of 12. And what does that reduce to? There you go. And guess what? If you do 9 out of 12 and reduce that, there you go. Now you good with that? All right, perfect. Yes, Austin, what?
Are you always converting it to the feet? Like from like 3 inches?
Not always.
How do you know when you are?
I'll tell you. Right? Some of you could have said square inches, but it was a huge number of square inches. Right? That's what I'm saying. We just wouldn't do square inches because it comes out to be a super big number. Right? All right, here we go. Number 8, Wilson, read.
You have enough savings then to cover 10 square yards. You plan on making a walkway that is 30 inches long. How long do you make the walkway in the sense that you have?
So what's the problem here? What are you thinking?
Would you multiply 30 times 10?
No, we got to do better than this now. All right. So here we go. I'm just going to show you something. All right. So do you know what paving stones are, right? Right. Just brick pavers, they call them. So they delivered them to my house. They don't deliver them in the long walkway that I want to make. They just deliver it in a pile. Do you agree? And that pile, they told me, covers 10 square yards. Now, that's what I want you to draw first thing. All right, I want you to draw a square and label it 10 square yards. Right. Now at my house, I'm trying to build a walkway, right? So I have to convert that to a walkway. So I'm making it a walkway. And my walkway, I've measured, it will be safe if I make it 30 inches wide. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Now, what's the problem here? What's one of the main problems?
You need to like have the put in the spot.
Yeah, so I have 10 square yards. But over here I have what? The wrong unit. So what is that? Inches, right? So what I want to do is I need to convert the inches to yards, right?
Or you can convert the yards to inches.
Yeah, but we're going to convert the inches to yards. I like that. All right, because I don't want to say my walkway's 72 inches, right? So I know 30 inches wide, right? So if I ask you how many yards wide is that, what would you tell me? Let him figure it out. How many inches or how many yards wide is that? How many inches in a yard? Do you remember?
I know this. 36.
Yay, very good. So I need everybody to write down 36 inches is equal to 1 yard. What is it?
It's 5/6 of the yard.
You're awesome, buddy. That's right. Because why? 30 out of 36 reduces to 5/6 of a yard. Do you agree with that? Okay, so now the question is, now you're trying to make an observation. This right here is how many square yards? 10, right? What is this going to end up being? What's my walkway going to be?
5/6 of the yard.
No. What's my walkway? What's the area of my walkway going to be when I lay all my yards? When I lay all the brick?
Length times width.
Nope. How many? It's going to be 10. It's going to be 10. Why? Because all the bricks that are here,
Oh.
I'm going to pick up and I'm going to move over here, right?
Yeah.
So the purple area is the same. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So how much is the purple area going to be? 10. All right. And that's going to be 10 square yards. Now, keep in mind, the width is 5/6 of a yard. So how long is my walkway going to be? What would I do?
10 times 5/6.
So how do I find area again?
Width times width.
Right, so everybody do that. Area equals length times width. What are we missing? What are we missing here?
The length of the whole thing.
Yeah. So how much is our area?
Our air,
What's our area?
length times width.
No, as a number,
Oh, 10.
10. Do we know what the length is?
Yes.
What is it?
10.
No. Do we know what the length is?
Oh, not yet.
So that's L. How wide is it?
30 inches.
Well, but we're doing yards,
Oh, 5/6. Yeah.
5/6. So how long can I make my walkway? How do I solve that?
You
Yes.
divide.
Divide, that's right, that's right. So you're gonna say the length is equal to 10 divided by 5/6.
Okay.
And tell me what that is. So of course, everybody's doing it on the calculator. 10 divided by 5/6. What is that? We have
I think I might have done it wrong, but it says 12.
12 is correct. 12 yards. You with me on this? Now, sometimes I know it doesn't seem right because of the fractions, right? People have a hard time understanding fractions. That's why sometimes I tell you, if you make easier numbers, the problems would be easier. But the harder numbers for a reason. So be with me. Now we just reviewed length times width is area, so you got to make sure you know that. All right, now, Nora, you're up. Read B.
Suppose instead that you want the walkway to be 16 and 2/3 yards, how wide should you make the walkway? Wait, by that doesn't mean the length or the like area.
What does it say?
Suppose that you want the walkway to be 16 and 2/3 yards. I mean, it's not telling you.
That is. Area you measure with what?
Oh,
Squares.
squares.
So is this an area?
No.
No. So that's a what?
Length.
That is correct. So if here's my walkway, if I make a new walkway, and you want your walkway to be 16 and 2/3 yards,
Does it the same area?
yeah, it didn't change.
Oh, then it's just 10 yards divided by 12, 16 and 2/3.
Yep. Tell me what that, so again, it's the same problem, except this time we want to figure out what the width is,
3/5 yards, maybe?
right?
Width?
Do you see what I'm saying? The area still stays 10 square yards. But let's say I knew I measured it out and I needed it to be 16 2/3 yards long. The question is, how wide could I make it?
Since it's L times W, and we did it there, if it was L times W, it would be 10 yards divided by 5, 6 yards, and down here, we was, since L and W are basically the same, you can just switch them, and you just do 10 divided by 16 2/3.
Right, so again, area equals length times width. So she did 10 is equal to 16 2/3 W. So she told me she divided 10 by 16 2/3. So everybody take their calculator, make sure you're doing 10 divided by 16 2/3, and tell me what that was.
Oh, 3/5,
How much?
3/5.
3/5 of a yard. Anybody understand that's 3/5 of a yard, right? So this width, if I make it 3/5 of a yard, that would tell me. All right. Everybody okay with that? And again, that's just drawing something out, understanding the relationship between area, length, and width. Go ahead, Austin.
I got syntax here.
Say it again.
I got error.
That's just because you didn't type it in correctly, buddy. Hit clear for
It
me.
said 10 divided by,
Yeah, hit clear.
oh, it's 16 2/3 divided by 10.
10, type in 10, divided by 16, ABC2, ABC3. And then hit enter. And what'd you get? There you go. All right, so the width of your walkway would be 3/5 of a yard. All right, 3/5 of a yard. All right, here we go. Now the next one should be a little bit easier. All right, let's go with Austin. Read it.
Use the table from the cost of the drawing, find the amount that price per yard is given in the table.
So if I want to buy 3 1/4 yards of brown fabric, how do I figure out how much it's going to cost me?
Wait, so what now?
I'm going into the store and I'm buying 3 1/4 yards of brown fabric. How much is going to cost me? How much is it per yard? No, how much is it per yard?
Oh, no.
Brown fabric. How much is the brown fabric?
9.
I'm not sure why you say 9.
I was reading those.
Do you see it now? So the price is $5 per yard.
So 15 and 25.
Well, but how are you doing that?
Well, 1/4, 1 would be like,
But you have a calculator.
oh,
I'm asking you, how do I type it in on my calculator? What would I do?
3, 1, 4 times 5.
Yeah, 3 1/4 times 5. Now tell me what that is.
16 and 1/4.
Now, we're dealing with money, so we don't say 16 1/4. I want you to convert that to a decimal. Even though 1/4 is a decimal, you already know is what?
16 and 25.
Yeah, so you would just say $16.25. Now, remember, if you don't know that 16.25, you can hit the second and the fraction to decimal, and it would convert it to 16.25. You with me on that? Yes, ladies.
How did you get 16?
You multiplied 3 1/4 times 5. So do that on your calculator real quick. Oh, go ahead. You got 16 1/4, right? Now on your calculator, let me see yours. Yeah. You can do second and then the fraction to decimal like we did yesterday.
Wait, question.
Just a minute. Did you get that? Okay, remember the fraction to decimal was this, F to D. That was that button on your calculator. Generally, it was the second, and then it's at the bottom, but it's different places on different calculators. Now, some of the calculators that I gave you that if you borrow, don't do it. All right. So if you want to do it, you would just do 1 divided by 4, and it would tell you as a decimal. Okay? Did you get that? All right, so what I want you to do first is I want you to type in 3 1/4 times 5. And then I want you to change it to, so that's 16 1/4. I want you to change it to decimal. Second. Now, if you want to, you have to simplify first. You good now, right? Did you figure it out? Okay, so you got it, right? Yeah. So everybody knows how to use the calculator now?
Yeah.
Okay, so now that brings me to Maggie, are you up? Who did number 9? Austin, yeah. So you tell me, if I want to buy 2.5 yards of yellow fabric, what would I have to do? No, Maggie's up. 2.5 times 8, beautiful. And tell me what that is. $20, right? So everybody's putting down $20 because it's a price, right? $20. Okay, so now 5 3/8, you're up. What am I doing? 5 3/8, blue is $6. That is correct. So it was 32 1/4, right? But then you automatically knew. That's very good, buddy. So $32. Did anybody else get $32.25? Got that? Okay, good. All right, so let's go. Max, you're up. Number 12.
And so 10 yards of main fabric. So you do 10 3/4
Good.
times 7.
Good.
I got 75 1/4, 65.
Yay, very good. 75-25. Very good. What?
I know how to like these ones, but in case like I didn't know like the decimal, how would I find it again?
It's the fraction decimal button on the calculator. Let me see your, did I let you borrow that one?
No.
Come on.
You
You hit this.
hit second.
Yeah, so that's all right. Right, so here's second right here. And then your fraction to decimal is right there. See it?
Oh,
Hit that button, then hit enter. You with me? Good job, buddy. Okay, so Max, did you do one already?
Yeah.
All right, Addison, you're up. Tell me about 13.
I got 141.
I know, but how did you do that though?
15 over 2/3 times 9. And we got 141.
100 and what?
141.
141 exactly. Did anybody else get 141? All right, see, we're in good shape. Okay, Lila, tell me what to do.
So you do 9 3/5 times 4, and then you get 38 and 4 cents. 38.4.
Does everybody agree with $38.40? Now remember, we're doing money, so we change it to a decimal. And we do it 40 cents, not 0.4. You agree with me?
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't matter, right? Yes.
Why wouldn't it be 38.04 instead of?
Oh, because remember, 40 cents. 0.04 would be 4 cents,
Okay.
right? 4 dimes, 40 cents. You with me on that? All right, I know we don't use coins anymore. The other day I asked somebody what a quarter, they couldn't, the picture of a quarter was unfamiliar, right? Dimes, nickels, everybody knows what quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies are, right? Okay, now, here we go. I am with Sophia. So you got $50. You have to buy all the blue fabric you can get. So how much blue fabric I'm gonna buy?
50 divided by 6.
Yes, 50 divided by 6, and tell me what that is.
8.3 repeating.
But I don't want it as 8.3 repeating.
So it would be 8 3/9,
8
which
and,
is 8 1/3
yay, very nice. But we're gonna say 8 1/3 what?
yards.
Yay, very smart, kiddo. I'm proud of you on that. 8 1/3 yards. Now look, don't write 8 1/3 down. Do it yourself. What?
I thought wouldn't you, multiply? I thought?
No, because we're trying to find how many yards this time.
Oh.
We gave us a total of $50 and blue cost $6. So you take 50 and divide it by 6, that'll tell you how many yards you can buy. You with me on this? What time's the bell ring? 11. All right. So your homework tonight is up through 21. So everybody, if you need to ask your parents for a little bit of help on these fractions, go ahead and do that. Now, if for some strange reason you don't have a fraction calculator, you can write it down, right? You can just write the operation that you would be doing down. Everyone's got to be doing that anyway. I don't want just an answer. You got to tell me, did you add? Did you subtract? Did you multiply? Did you divide? And then you use your calculator to give me the answer. Is everybody with me on this? All right. If you don't have a calculator, drop off early and then come in the morning and calculate them. All right. Everybody good with that? All right. So let's call it a day or start working, but I want my calculators back for my next class.